September 2nd, Big K versus Ill Will. Now, I see a lot of people, hyping Ill Will up. Not Ill Will, Young Ill. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I see a lot of people hyping Young Ill up, man. And I really think battle rap is a culture that likes to gas people up and put batteries in niggas' backs and shit. And I'm sorry, man. I got Big K with a clear 3-0 in this battle. I feel like Young Ill doesn't stand a chance. I feel like St. Louis O, Street Status, didn't do anything to help his case out with that footage he put out of Young Ill's performance, because Young Ill really was not saying shit. I feel like back then, way back when Ill Will was on his shit, it was a difference because the dynamic of battle rap at that point was not what it is now. I feel like even when it comes to punching and things like that going up against Big K, man, this 2023 Big K Cody nominee, I feel like this is not the battle for Ill Will right now. That's all I'm going to say. It's not the battle. I don't even think this will be a gentleman's. I feel like this will be a clear 3-0, close to body that happens. Young Ill came back and said, Ill back, still clap. And the crowd went crazy. Y'all remember that shit. Ill back, still clap. Crowd goes crazy. Niggas just like to see people that they familiar with, man. And I think he'll get a little bit of that, but the longer that Young Ill versus Big K goes on, the more separation you'll see. So what I'm saying, first round, it's going to be like this. And Ill might even get a few off. But once that second round start and you hear Ill again, this is going to start to happen. And by that third, it's going to be like, nah, he just not cut out for this 2023 battle rap scene. Like, and to tell you the truth, when it comes to St. Louis rappers on the level here, Hitman and Verb is the only two that really survived. B Magic can still do it, and honestly, I can't even remember if B Magic versus Young Ill happened. I can't remember, but that would be more a closer match. Like, that would be some closer matchup type shit. Like, give Young Ill someone that's coming up trying to get a name type of, not like a PG, but like give him a mid-tier for the moment. Like, I feel like it's just not going to be a chance when it comes down to it. Not at all. It's going to be clear. The longer that battle goes on, the more you're going to see this happen. And that Red Sea is going to open up. And by that third round, and Big K still doing this shit, and Young Ill on some fly shit, like this fly nigga type persona that he, on stage, just the cool guy type shit. That shit ain't gonna work versus Big K, I'm gonna tell you now. You gonna have to punch, you gonna have to rap. So I think that's gonna go bad. I think it's gonna get very dark for Young Ill. So I'm gonna move on to the next battle. I'm gonna go with A Ward versus A Verb. Man. Okay, so for this one, I do feel like A Ward is gonna have his moments. I feel like A Ward is gonna do what A Ward does consistently. And really, this battle, you can really call any battle a preference battle, but I think this battle kind of is more of a preference battle than a lot of other battles because, well, for one, I'm gonna be honest, A Ward, his voice, how he delivers his shit in his voice, I'm just not a big A Ward fan. just how his voice, it just sounds like, you know how some people like some people don't like just how people deliver their shit. Like I hear people say that about Ty Law and Danger Zone. They saying he got a frog in his throat type of thing. That's what I get from A Ward. It's like he got this Kermit the Frog shit going on with his voice, and I really, it's just, I don't know. He's a talented dude. I'm not gonna say he's not a talented dude, but it's just something about his voice and how he delivers his shit when he's in front of certain people. That shit just don't hit for me. It just don't. Like if he was, you know, battling the Emerson Kennedy or something, okay, I can get it. But just when I hear someone else rap and it just sounds better, delivered better, more charismatic, more just easier to listen to me. I think Verb, you know, well, for one, I'm gonna put this out there. There's not too many people who beat Mook and who beat Lux. And I think Verb is one of those people who did that. I think there's one other battler that people argue that has done those, that has those two accolades under his belt. So when it comes to resume, definitely A Verb, and his resume is, I think it's not really a comparison because, you know, A Verb, he has battled a couple females, but, you know, you look at A Ward resume and yeah, he's battled the Geechees and he's battled some of these higher guys, but what really got his name to be just like he's a consistent winner wasn't just all of these people whose names are up here, the Frax and all this shit. You don't see A Verb battling Frax, so I definitely do think his levels of opponents, like I think Verb here, Ward here, when it comes to status in battle rap or in this culture, I do feel like A Ward will get around on Verb, but I'm gonna give this 2-1 to Verb just because I think the way Verb weaves his shit is a little more clever than the way A Ward delivers his rounds. Verb weaves his shit together, and it's more. Like my preference. I like when the shit sounds poetic. Like I like when that shit like Calico, how he weaves his rounds and goes into these cadences in different pockets and things. I like that type of shit. Like that's what I'm a fan of in battle rap. So in a style clash like this, I'm definitely gonna go with a Verb 2-1. I think next hit Ill Will. Got Ill Will versus Hitman Holla. And this battle, I think this should be on paper. I would think this would be battle of the night. Just from what's released right now on Max Out, Ill Will versus Hitman should be battle of the night. This matchup is crazy. Definitely salute to RBE for this whole card so far, because the card is crazy. The card is crazy. Ill Will versus Hitman Holla. So far, I would say probably will be battle of the night. And it's a hard one for me to pick, man, because, you know, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. It's a Midwest matchup that, you know, a long time people were thinking could happen. But I'm going to tell you one thing. People really weren't looking at this matchup until Ill Will did this in the culture. Because if you notice, I think RBE helped build Ill Will's brand up. Like, Ill Will, you know, back in, you know, when it was on URL, he was kind of looked at as a mid-tier battler. Let's just call it for what it is. But I think with the help of RBE and the looks that he got on RBE and himself actually performing and actually showing up consistently, I think it kind of changed his trajectory with RBE to where now Hitman versus Ill Will, that sounds like, yeah, that needs to happen. So what I say, and it's hard to get my prediction on this, man. I'm telling you, But I'm gonna go with the Ill Will 2-1. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I seen some chinks in Hitman armor. And these chinks, they kind of had to do with crowd reaction, and it kind of do with crowd control. And that's crazy because, you know, Hitman had a bar a while back talking about crowd control where I forget who he was battling. He was basically stopped rapping and looked at the crowd. I'm going to teach you how to control the crowd. Oh, he does have that crowd control, but this last battle with Easy, the crowd was not on his side, and you've seen how that affected him with the whole, they gonna catch it on cam. I think he's really bothered by not having the crowd on his side. Now, one thing I will say about this RBE Max Out room and this blue room, I wish this battle particularly was on a big stage, because I feel like that's experience that Ill Will has and Hitman really has, but this blue room is too fucking easy for these battlers. These level of battlers that we're seeing on this card, I feel like they need to be under that pressure. The fucking blue room is too easy. Guidi could go in the blue room and shut the shit down just because it's RBE and Guidi be over at RBE. Like, it's just too much friendly shit going on in this blue room. Like, every bar gets a haymaker response and shit. I've seen people say some mediocre shit in this blue room, and motherfuckers go crazy in that bitch. And to me, I would rather hear a couple misplaced boos than 1,000 cheers for shit that's mediocre. Like, I feel like it's too fucking easy. It's like a close-knit community in this blue room shit, where it's all your homeboys and y'all it's two homeboys, and the battle just looks like every bar was crazy because niggas don't ever react besides nothing. Everything gets a reaction, basically. So I'm gonna say that for all these. I wish they was all on a big stage. Max Out 3 should be on a big stage. It shouldn't be imagine if URL said we're gonna do Summer Madness in a small room. The whole culture would go crazy. But RBE gets away with that shit because they the Cinderellas of battle rap right now. Everybody's on RBE's side, so they can basically do no fucking wrong. But Ill Will versus Hitman, I wish it was on a big stage. I like to see battlers under pressure. I like to hear how they deal with shit. I like to see the crowd control that they have and all of that. So I'm going to give this to Ill Will 2-1. And yeah, man, I'm going to leave it at that. So that's 3 battles from RBE. Now, let me pull up. I'm going to pull up the Summer Madness card. And I'm going to run through that Summer Madness card real quick. So, starting from the bottom of the card, Shotgun Suge versus Fonz. I'm gonna give this an easy 2-1, maybe Gentleman's 30 to Shotgun Suge. I can't see Fonz, man. Fonz, he has his shining moments, but as a complete battler, going against Suge, I can't see it, man. Suge, the Cody nominee from 2022, I feel like it's just gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. I think Suge got something to prove. Definitely, if you watch the O-Red and Suge No Impact, you most definitely will realize that Suge was actually talking some shit in that battle. It's just O-Red kind of didn't carry his weight. So I'm going to give it to Suge 2-1, possible Gentleman's 30 on that. T-Top versus John John, I'm not excited at all, really. I never really been a T-Top fan, even though when T-Top had his little run, I never really been a T-Top fan because of the whole, and it's the same thing. When it comes to some of these quote unquote street battlers, I don't care what you done in the street. This is battle rap. If you rap better than your opponent, you win. I don't give niggas points for telling about their past life. Like Easy be up there talking about all this other shit, and it turns out to be a haymaker, and it'll be a dope bar, but it doesn't go to the opponent at all. Just talking about shit from the past and all that. I used to sell sheetrock and all this shit. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm gonna just be honest. This shit is goofy. Like, nigga, rap better than this man. If you rap better than him, you gonna win. But I really just personally don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But he seems, he's always been that angle person where he has to have some kind of angle on you to win. And then when he do get that angle, he does know how to pull things out of an angle in a creative way. So, thinking about John, we all know all the angles on John. So I feel like it's going to be some repackaged shit that T-Top does. And it's just going to, T-Top, man, I don't know what, I gave it to John 2-1, man. I'm just put it like that. I give it to John 2-1. DNA versus Jerry West, it might turn out to be a dope battle. Jerry West, he kind of been on the ups. He been kind of doing this in the culture, having some great performances and whatnot. I kind of, to me, Jerry West, I feel like raps like 15 other battlers to me. There's just nothing that pops out. When I hear Jerry West, it's just nothing that pops out. Like, he has some dope lines. And it's kind of one of them, I get the same thing from Danger Zone, where his pen is crazy, but it's just nothing that, I don't know, I can't really explain it. But I'm gonna get at to DNA 2-1. Next we got New Jersey Twork versus Hollow the Don, the Denanon. This battle, man, I think really this one is battle of the night. It should be. I think Hollow, hopefully, since we see Hollow on the card and we know what Hollow said when it comes to URL, giving him enough time, because that's what he blamed his last bad performance on, was not having enough time. And, we could go into the whole, well, you shouldn't have took the battle, but niggas got to eat. So it's like, what the fuck you gonna do? But yeah, in this battle, I'm going to give y'all two answers, right? I'm going to give y'all two answers. I hope Hollow goes in there and smokes New Jersey Twork. But there's nothing that I've seen out of Hollow in the past year that tells me he's going to beat New Jersey Twork on August 27th. I'm going to just be honest. There's nothing that showed me that he's going to go in there and wash up Twork. I do think it's going to be a 2-1 either way battle, and I do believe it's going to be a debatable battle. But I think Twork's going to edge him in 2 rounds, and I think it's going to end like that. Now, what I hope happens is Hollow goes in there and blows the roof off of Houston. Just because I'm a Hollow fan. I'm a Hollow fan before I'm a Twork fan. Put it like that. And honestly, I think me not really being a huge Twork fan is partly due to the fact that so many niggas took his style and watered it down. So when I hear actually Twork rap, that it's not as effective, because I've heard so many niggas do his style besides him. So, and I got to kind of grade on a tick when it comes to that, because when Twork does it, it's an obvious difference. And it's obvious that niggas have tried to do that, but nobody can do it like Twork. Let's just be honest. This little nigga, NXT, he came out doing that Twork shit, and people gave him props. And that shit is goofy to me. Like, that's why I hate the fucking culture. The originality is like, niggas can get away with that. NXT never, and there was another nigga, Murda. It was some dude, Murda, came out and basically took Twork whole shit and just ran with it. And I'm glad we don't see him anymore, but certain shit about this culture I don't fuck with. You know, that's why I show respect to the old Reds and the Shugs and the Big T's and that era, because all them niggas was different, man. So this battle, I'm going to go with Twork 2-1, but I hope Hollow go in there and do his thing, man, for the vets, man, for the people who've been around since Math and Rex, you know, for the people who've been around and seen him go from these different platforms and levels that Hollow went for him, to see him go in there and fuck up Twork in 2023, that would be a win for me. So I'm going to need that personal win, Hollow, on this one. But, you know, if Twork come in there and wash him up with a gentleman's 30, which I don't think will happen, but if Twork goes in there and clears him 2-1, easy, clear 2-1, I'm not gonna be surprised because of what this man has done over the past year, maybe more. But since he's been consistent and not choking, it's been a different Twork. So that's all I'm gonna say. Moving on to what supposedly is the main event. I think it's the main event just because Tay Rock and Av have history, and Tay Rock's kind of like the face of UR. So I don't know. Twork versus Hollow Da Don is the main event to me. Out of all of these battles on paper, Twork versus Hollow is the main event to me. But at the top of the list, Tay Rock versus Av. And this battle, man, I seen Tay Rock talking about some shit about personals, and, you know, we gonna go in here and do this, and it's not about personals. And I hope they don't really, you know, I hope Av see that tweet and be like, fuck that shit, nigga, I'm finna go in. So that's what I hope happened. When it comes to punching and delivery and all that, I think Tay Rock knows what people like more than Av. I think Tay Rock has a better feel on what a 2023 crowd wants to hear more than Av. When it comes to the battle in general, I wish it was Tay Rock versus Serious Jones. Honestly, I would be more excited about Tay Rock versus Serious Jones than Tay Rock versus Av. Because just to put it in, you know, Tay Rock and Serious Jones, they never was really cool like that. And Serious Jones, I heard him on Angry Fan talking some shit. You know, he just got out. That battle seems interesting to me. I'm going to just put that out there. But in this battle, Tay Rock versus Av, man, I'm going to go with Rock 2-1, man. I'm going to go with Rock 2-1. I think Rock, when it comes to you seeing Rock on other platforms and then you see Rock on a Summer Madness, I think he brings a certain level of intensity on these stages. And I think Av, I don't know if he's quite mastered these stages like Rock has. We got to really look at what Rock has done in battle rap, and it's really crazy. He hasn't, I don't think he's reached the point where he's in everybody's Mount Rushmore, but he's an honorable mention for Mount Rushmore and should be. Just because of the consistency. Like, when have we seen Tay Rock choke? I think he might have stumbled and shit on this past battle he did on the Little League this year or something, but when have we seen Tay Rock choke, man? That's what we really gotta, like, when has Tay Rock choked? It's crazy, man. He's probably gone spans of years without choking before. Like 5 years, not a choke. I'm pretty sure he's done that. Yeah, man, I'm about to get up out of here. It's YJ. I've been talking my shit for 24 minutes, almost 25 minutes, man. It's YJ. I'm going to get up out of here. Peace.